Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning, everyone. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And for our prayer this morning, we actually have two brief prayers from John in 1 Samuel. Jesus said, "True worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. And man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Our dog this morning will be presented by our dog warden.
Good morning. Today we have a 2-year-old black lab mix. It's in kennel number 16. It's available on Friday the 15th. We have 31 other dogs there, so come on down, take a look. It's that time of year we're starting to fill up again, so come see us. Thank you.
Looks very lonely. He needs a home.
Sad.
Oh,
He's scared and
yeah.
sad.
Okay.
I asked the dog warden to implement a little program at the kennel, having the Girl Scouts come and read to the dogs. So this past Saturday, we had 5 Girl Scouts come in and read to the dogs. I thought that would be a nice opportunity for the girls to get a badge and also for the dogs to have some companionship. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, if you want to put them to sleep, read the minutes from the commissioners' meetings. So.
We don't put dogs to sleep.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Well, not that sleep.
I have
I'm
a
sorry,
motion now
wrong
to
word.
waive the reading in the
Want them to
minutes.
snooze. Want them to snooze, yeah, okay.
Great. Matt wants to put the dogs to
No,
sleep.
snooze. Madam Clerk,
Under resolutions, number 1, investments,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Appropriations,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Transfers,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Travel,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Bills,
so move.
Second.
discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Administrator Cordes.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. I do have a few personnel issues, potential hires, community development, solid waste. We have appointments on the WACA board to go over. Also, pending litigation. And we may have an opportunity to just further discuss our positioning with regard to our negotiation with the United Steelworkers of America. All 3 of those topics will allow under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussions. I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session, we talk about those items that I've outlined. Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of April 6th.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye,
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Authorize County of Lorain to execute and deliver certain certificates necessary to support the issuance of Lorain County Port Authority Development Revenue Bond Series 2016. This is for the Judson project in Cleveland, and the aggregate amount not to exceed $5 million. The TEFRA hearing was held yesterday.
so move.
Second.
Discussion.
I'd like to call forward, if we could, our Port Authority Director, Pat Metzger, to kind of walk us through this one.
Is the right mic on?
I
Yep.
think so.
Sure.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, the Port Authority met to conduct a TEFRA public hearing in the matter of these bank-qualified issuances in the amount of $5 million for the Judson Senior Living Community. And they're performing some updates to their facilities and took advantage of the Port Authority's ability to allow tax-exempt certificates in the matter. And I wanted to call Mr. Gibson here from Squires to update us a little bit more on the legal end of things in case you had some additional questions.
Just state your full name, please.
Todd Gibson. I'm with Squire Patton Boggs, I'm bond counsel to Judson for this financing. So
Thank
first
you.
of all, thank you very much for entertaining this resolution. The bond financing will provide money for updates to their facilities. They're renovating 2 different floors in 2 different buildings to, just do that, update facilities for existing residents and hopefully attract new residents. The financing is more cost-effective for them by doing it through a port authority. So they approached the Lorain County Port, and we're here today. But happy to answer any questions.
It's for tax-free bonds,
Yes, they would be tax exempt.
tax exempt.
The interest on it is tax exempt to the holders, right?
I will tell you that normally we reserve our bank qualified tax exempt issuances, but we haven't used them fully each year. Next year I anticipate we'll have quite a bit to bond out. And of course we have notes. The notes that we're in currently, the bands, are grandfathered into tax exemption because they were issued and they're just being rolled right now for projects we're doing. We still have $5 million of bank qualified left for the year, should we need to use it. I've gone over all of our funding and bonding issues for the year, and I believe that we can satisfy we still have plenty of room with the $5 million. That said, the reason you're seeing this is because you have to be keenly aware that the Port Authority is a component element of government. Excuse me, I'm a little try my this morning. Is a component element of Lorain County government, and if they issue tax exempt under the bank qualified, they could actually do that, and the board wouldn't have any bank qualified issuance available to them. So we always have to pay attention to what's going on in that, and of course we have to watch what's being issued in some of our surrounding communities too, because what the cities do, there's a certain valuation on total issues out of each community. So I think that this is good. The Port Authority makes a little bit of money on this. It helps support the Port Authority. It also provides a resource within the region. We're regional, and you won't believe it, but we already had a couple calls since.
Right after this,
Since because usually this type of conduit isn't available to most issuers.
So each community gets $10 million per year of tax exempt
Well, the county has $10 million of
every year?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, to be clear, I mean, the county could issue as much debt as
Yes.
as they
But not
need
tax
or are
exempt.
otherwise
not
allowed under
tax
the debt
exempt.
limits. It's just that up to 10 million can, in some cases, get preferential pricing if it's of value to the holder.
Mhm.
Some holders don't care if it's bank qualified or not, but banks in particular will give the county a better rate potentially.
I probably didn't explain it well. We still have over 50 million of GO available to us that we need to issue debt. Usually, as was explained, usually the bank qualified, they didn't say that, and thank you for saying that. Usually you can get a better rate. Most times you can, we're not talking about a lot, but you can still get a better rate. And I guess I should have explained that that's just a 10 million. We can issue all the way up to the valuation. We don't carry a lot of debt, so we have plenty of general obligation bonds left. Most of our bonds that we've been doing are revenue bonds for sewer projects and water projects.
But it's not uncommon for projects to reach out to port authorities, even if they're not directly in their neighborhood, but in their region.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
We have a reciprocal
Right.
agreement with Cuyahoga, Toledo, City of Lorain. I think we have Summit, too.
I just think the general public may think that it's just specifically for the county and not for the region.
Correct. This is definitely regional.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Authorized payment for the course insurance renewal invoice in the amount of $553,892 for the coverage period May 1st, 2016 through April 30, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Request the Lorain County Auditor pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 5705.10, Chapter 339, certify to Lorain County Commissioners the total tax valuation of the county and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated on a renewal levy of 0.065 mils for 5 years for the TB clinic to be placed on the November 8, 2016 general election ballot and placed on the tax duplicate for 2017 commencing in collection 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Let's do a little bit of discussion on this, so everybody's familiar with. This is the TB clinic levy. We reduced it in half last time.
Roughly, about 40%.
About 40% was the figure. That's worked very well for us. Jim, if you want to expound on
Sure.
how we've done that and what we've been able to accomplish working with Mercy Health Partners.
As a little bit of a rollback, several years ago, the board believed that it was more cost-efficient to deliver these services in a public-private partnership rather than a fully staffed tuberculosis clinic environment. You set about obtaining outside quotes. We worked with Mercy from their infectious disease department. Excuse me a second, please. I must be coming down with a cold. We work with Mercy's infectious disease department to come up with a contract. We were able to reduce the cost by over half, even though we reduced the levy by 40%. We were able to reduce the overall cost to the taxpayer by 50%. We just did a renewal on that contract. They had a 6% increase locked for 3 years after having a locked price for the first 3 years of the contract. It's been a really positive relationship. They've done a good job. We've had a couple problem cases. As you know, we had to quarantine people before. I will tell you that I had toyed with possibly wanting an increase in the levy, but I think that with the new valuations coming out, county valuation, I think this will be fine. We have money in reserves because this doesn't pay for those big hits that come in if somebody is strain resistant. They obviously cost more money. We have a reserve against that. That's not included in our initial contract. That 1 year, one person cost us $50,000 or $60,000 when we were dealing with that. So I'm satisfied, and that these kind of relationships can work very well. The only reason we're exclusive with Mercy is because at the time it was Lorain Memorial, but it's UH now, they did not have an infectious disease department available at that hospital. That would have been nice because then we could have maybe broke things up a little bit and served the community on a more broad base. But Mercy seems to be out there, and I haven't heard any complaints.
Dr. Palmer is a sharp guy, too, runs that infectious disease, does a real good job.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
Good.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Advertise bids for the 2016 roof replacements repair projects at various county facilities. Notice to be in the Chronicle on April 18th and 25th. Mandatory pre-bid at 2 p.m. on May 2nd and open at 2 p.m. on May 12th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Award CT Consultants, Inc., mentor and contract amount of $94,900 to provide professional services for final design, bidding, and construction management to create a new exit for the traffic leaving the collection center and create a Lorain County Sustainability Learning Center at 534 South Abbey Road, Elyria, and will be paid from the solid waste professional services accounts.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
A little bit of discussion yesterday was our policy committee, and they showed the plans to the policy committee yesterday on how the new configuration will work coming out there, making it easier for the large vehicles coming through, won't get tightened up in that corner.
Yeah, you know,
Digs it out, and then also going with the sustainability center and talking about the new building possibly on the far southern side of the property that would house our shredder machine and our baler, and
yeah, I just
they're
haven't,
pretty excited about
haven't
it.
told the other two commissions about that yet. It's
It's
good
a
they told the
policy
advisory
committee.
board. I just got the the revised plan from CT. So I apologize to the other two commissioners for not having that conversation with you, but the shredder and the baler are huge pieces of equipment. The height of the ceiling within the Port Authority building just allows mere inches for movement of that, and the doors are just really not suitable to try to get under. Quite frankly, we'd have to bag the tires on the machine to get it in there safely with the doors that are existing. So we're exploring the potentiality of putting another building on the site. The house is very expensive, specialized equipment. With regard to the Learning Center, this is not my mornings for speaking, excuse me. That's unusual. Thanks. The original concept of the collection center was that you would come in off of Abbey, we had 2 lanes, you would transition, and then you would move down and you would make a nice, gentle right turn and come out the front of the building into the parking lot. Well, due to our inability to gain cooperation from the then owner of that piece of the condominium, because it was a condominium unit at the time, we weren't able to do that, so we ended up with this very awkward left turn, leaving us with some of the larger vehicles having to actually back up to make the turn, and I just didn't feel comfortable with that, but that was the best we could do. The center's been a huge success. It's a model around the state. We were slow to get started, but once we got it going, it's people been up, they've looked at it, they're trying to mirror our progress there. But we needed to correct that, and the opportunity came when we were able to buy the whole building. The Port Authority bought out the rest of the condo owners and now owns the whole facility. So we started putting these plans together. Along with the drive going out, it was also thought that we need to have this learning center and places where the schools could take field trips to and educate on recycling. And if we put the new building on the site there, you're really going to have a very comprehensive look at your recycling and reuse projects in Lorain County. So it's pretty exciting. I think we should be done hopefully by the fall. It's not a huge project. So I think once we get moving, it'll be an exciting time. Plus, we're going to try to deal with that parking lot up there. It's an asphalt jungle. There's never going to be the need for 1,000 parking spots. We're going to try to green some of that out. And of course, we're looking at other options with regard to our transit garage that's there. I think it's going to be a very good project for Lorain County.
We had a lot of talk about yesterday bringing the kids to the education center. The only other one in the state of Ohio is Montgomery County. Something similar, and theirs is actually at a transfer point. So the kids get to look out the window and see the transfer. But yeah, it's making waves all over the state. People are looking at what we're doing. This education center is going to make, and then there'll be dollars involved for transportation for the schools to bring the students to the education center instead of Brandy, who's our education coordinator, carrying boxes of stuff in and trying to set up. They come to us, and they'll be all set up. Hopefully, some interactiveness and
they'll be able to tour the center. The shred truck is going to provide a huge service. We made sure the truck was purchased with the ability to do sensitive document shredding, not just shredding. Some documents to be disposed of require like a diagonal certain width cut to be properly disposed of, and the truck can do both. And I think that if we can afford to put the building up and we can get approval to put the building up, if I'm not mistaken, that's a $250,000 piece of equipment, not including the baler. So it needs to be housed correctly so that we can get many, many years out of that equipment. And for the public's knowledge, we had a grant for that.
correct. It was not paid by local dollars or even local tipping fees. It was a grant that paid for that piece of equipment.
And so we'll be going out in the community with that soon and working with areas that hold shred days. Right now, everybody's got to come up to our center up there. We get a lot of business, but it would be more convenient for the community if we held shred days around several areas of Lorain County. And so I think you're gonna like what's happening.
Yeah, 2 of the collection center employees are being trained on the machine now, because we actually got it on a Thursday, did shred day on a Saturday, and we jammed it up a couple times, but the manufacturers were there to, go through it in the training and unjam it so we could use it and everything. So it's a significant piece of equipment for the county that didn't cost us any money, so it'll be nice.
Yeah, as I said, I had a chance to go over there on shred day and just thought that everything went smoothly. Thought the employees everybody was very professional, very nice, and kept the line moving. I thought it worked out really well, and for those who've yet to utilize our center to bring over old paints or fuel or whatever it may be, boy, you're missing a heck of an opportunity over there. It's so convenient. Just drive in and show your driver's license, fill out a quick form, and
Yeah.
away you go. So
Don't even have to get out of your car.
don't even have to get out of your car. That's right.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Enter in a sanitary sewer service agreement with LORCO, Columbia Township, and Avon Lake for Hawke Road. LORCO owns and operates a sanitary sewage system, including sanitary sewer lift stations and force mains along Hawke Road, and Avon Lake treats the collection of wastewater flows. Agreement is effective for 40 years, renewed for terms of 20 years thereafter, and 1-year cancellation clause prior to the commencement of renewal periods.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Jim?
Mr. Cordes. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, in the morning I got a frog. You got to do all this talking.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. This has been a work in progress for a number of months, maybe years.
Years.
Years, decades.
You know, I have to thank the folks at LORCO, the engineer's office, our consultants, Mr. Ennis, who worked on this tirelessly also. Our relationship with LORCO has been on again, off again. It's mostly been challenging, tense, and filled with anxiety. But we're trying to overcome all that and reach agreeable solutions so we can improve this community. Hawke Road has LORCO sewers on one side of the road, which would be the east side that's in Eaton Township. For those that don't know, Hawke Road actually divides Columbia and Eaton Township right down the center line of the road. When the sewers were put in on the east side of Hawke Road, because Eaton is in LORCO, there was the facilities planning area just stopped there, and west was Columbia. And for for people that aren't aware of what went on in Columbia Township, they were in LORCO, and then they did a remonstrance. The taxpayers passed a petition. It was a remonstrance to remove them from LORCO. So hence that side of the road wasn't in the service area, facilities planning area. But there was a few people that have had problems with their septics and were desirous of maybe being able to utilize that sewer. Facilities planning areas are hotly challenged, changes to them.
Sacred ground.
Well, development and progress in a community follows sewers and services. It's simple as that. And so we got into a little dust up with LORCO over they wanted to change the facilities boundaries in Columbia Township. We're doing a lot of sewering over there. And we weren't making any headway. Meanwhile, who's suffering? The few residents that actually want to access sewer. They don't really care about a boundary line. They just want to use a sewer. So we were able to hammer out an agreement where the facilities planning area stays within the Columbia facilities planning area, and also be able to provide that option. And I want to make this point. It's an option to the homeowners whether they want to tap into the Hawke Road sewer out there. They don't have to. The health department's not going to make them. It's on the other side of the road. There's no laterals, but there are a few people that may find it very advantageous to hook into that system. This is on a one home by one home basis, and it's voluntary, and it's up to the homeowner. I think it's a good deal for those folks that need it. It's a good deal for LORCO, which is also in contract with Avon Lake to take flow. And it's a good deal for us because we're able to satisfy those needs of the residents on Hawke Road. It's our first deal with LORCO. I'm looking for more of them. I'm looking to better our relationship and have a more cooperative look at what's needed in our community. So I would encourage you to approve this, and we'll get this thing underway.
Wonderful.
Okay, good work.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Cordes?
I'm done.
In more ways than one.
In more ways than
The
one.
voice is
Mr.
gone.
Ennis?
I have one issue of pending litigation to discuss in executive session.
Commissioners report.
Just want to let everybody know that there's going to be a prescription turn-in day. The Lorain County Sheriff's Office Drug Task Force and our partner agencies will be holding our 14th prescription turn-in day at the locations. There's almost all the police departments. What I'll do is I'll have Hal put this list up on the screen for everybody to see where they're at, but just about every police department is going to be part of the program. So it keeps expired or no longer needed medications out of the water supply and away from unintended users. No person No personal information will be asked, and just remove all the labels. Medications will be kept by law enforcement officers until they are disposed of, so.
Yeah,
you have-
please don't flush.
Don't flush them, right,
Right.
you need to turn them in, so, and I'll get that information to Hal. Sunday, went to the Lions Pancake Breakfast at the newly built Brookside School. What a beautiful facility. Unfortunately, I think we had a commissioners meeting when they had the ribbon cutting and never had an
Right.
opportunity to go, but it's absolutely beautiful. Also attended the polka brunch at the Slovak Club. They had great food. Unfortunately, I just got done eating pancakes, so I wasn't really that hungry, but it was awesome, delicious food, and the polkas reminded me of Sunday mornings that my mom used to blast, you know, on the radio, or polka varieties, you know, making
Right.
dinner Sunday morning, so a nice little flashback from that, so. And then I attended my great niece's first birthday, so happy birthday to Sienna, she turned 1, and also Ron had his birthday this past weekend, so happy birthday to him too, so. And that's the end of my report.
NOACA committee meetings this past Friday, policy committee, just working on some cleanup in some of our languages, and then there was programming committee, and then external affairs, so just normal paperwork, board work. Had an opportunity to attend. Jacqueline Bradley, Lorain resident, who actually lives in Europe now, put together for the last decade a tribute to her uncle, Johnny Rosano Jr., who was one of our servicemen who were lost in the USS Indianapolis. She spent a decade researching it, doing it. They had relatives in from all over the country, relatives of survivors from the USS Indianapolis. It's just a really good job where he had never had an obituary, never a burial. They did a real nice job. A lot of veterans there. They did the 21-gun salute to the gentleman. Just a great job by a young lady who's really talented, because I followed her for years singing. Her father, Jack, and mother, Debbie Bradley, pretty prominent in our community. Just a great job raising her. So she did a really nice job putting this all together and telling stories. And it was kind of funny, the week earlier, prior to when this event happened, somebody had found a letter wondering who this Johnny Rosano was. And it had a recipe from their mother on the back side of it. And it was talking about congratulations to a friend, just having a child, and, you know, I hope she grows up to be a great person, whatever.
And it was her?
Great. No, it was actually Donna Partika. Ended up being the daughter, and Donna worked for years at our Board of Elections, so it was kind of a neat little story, just all the roundabout, so. Also, congratulations, Amber Fisher, Developmental Disabilities, their Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser, quite as successful as always. Attended the Bar Association annual ball. They honored a couple of very prominent attorneys in our community. Tim Smith, who for years worked in domestic relations, a mentor to many. I've known Tim for years. We talked about our old days going to Atlantic City, so it was always a pleasure talking to Tim. Andy Young, who we all know very well, attorney out of North Ridgeville, with all the time he spends there. And they also honored 100 women, Sue Bowers and her crew, who get together quarterly, and they all donate $100 and give it to an organization. They've generated over $200,000.
There's a men's group now, I think.
Huh?
That's-
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
men's group now also,
formed.
correct.
Yeah.
Again, Sheffield Lake, what a beautiful high school. Again, never got a chance to see it. And then again, Tom Borowitz and WOBL and WDLW putting together the polka brunch. And all the proceeds this year went to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Amherst. And then again, as I spoke earlier, Solid Waste Policy Committee met, talked about the Education Center. Our finances are doing very well. We're keeping a tight hold on where dollars are being spent. So that's the end of my report.
Also had the opportunity to be in Cleveland, as Commissioner Kalo was as well, for the NOACA meeting on last Friday. And they've obviously been trying to work a lot more on, I guess you could say, lobbying the legislators in Columbus and in Washington. It's part of the External Affairs Committee, and trying to put together what the agenda is on that. Obviously, Ohio is greatly lacking in its support for transportation, and especially for transit, spending about 63 cents per person, compared to substantially higher amounts in neighboring states. And just, you know, RTA is a good example there in Cleveland. They used to receive $42 million. Now they receive $7 million a year to help support their transit program. And you wonder why it's been difficult for us to keep a viable transit program going. The Rural Advisory Committee is moving forward through NOACA, which is a a good initiative, reaching out to the rural communities, trying to make sure that the rural communities are connected with all the activities going on. And sometimes I think individuals living in rural communities sometimes don't feel the connection to NOACA, but you know, the important thing is when you leave your home in the rural area to gain access to major roads and highways, that's NOACA that made that possible. So the Lions Pancake Breakfast, as was pointed out, beautiful new Brookside Middle School and High School. It's a combined location there, and just a great facility and good folks. And yeah, the pancakes can fill you up pretty fast. It's hard to eat anything after that. Also enjoyed having some folks come out yesterday. I did a Lundy Listens office hours, had some folks come in asking questions about some of the things we're doing in county government. Found that to be helpful and informative. Also this evening we'll be attending the Lorain County Community Action Agency, recognizing their 50th anniversary. And also there's a board meeting, which I'm the appointee from here to Main Street, Elyria. So we'll be at that as well. And that concludes my report.
Today at 2 o'clock we'll have our Records Commission. Next Tuesday, April 19th at 9:30 will be our first ditch hearing for King Cobalt, as well as at 11:30 the ribbon cutting open house for Lorain County Veterans Building. Board correspondence?
I move to approve the board correspondence and waive the reading.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Public comment?
Anyone at this time like to participate in public comment? Yes, sure. If you would just come forward, you can grab either podium, wherever you're most comfortable, and just give us your name and address.
Hi, my name is Pat Justin, and I live at 44604 Butternut Ridge Road, Oberlin, Ohio. I would like to present the Board of Commissioners with 465 signatures on our petitions against the vacation of Butternut Ridge Road that's proposed by Republic Services. I want to give these to you ahead of the May 3rd hearing so that you can take time to go through and see that these are people from Oberlin, Amherst, Elyria, Grafton, LaGrange, Wellington, North Ridgeville, South Amherst, and Kipton, not just New Russia Township and Carlisle Township. The residents of Lorain County use this road, and they want it to stay open. We hope to have a lot of people at the hearing on May 3rd and next month, and these signatures might be the only way that some of the residents can show you how they feel about the closing of Butternut Ridge.
You have a cheerleader here.
Yeah, I was going to say, did she sign as well, too?
Yeah. Thank you.
And she does live on Butternut
Yeah.
Okay.
She wants it to stay open. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very
Thank
much.
you. Any others for public comment? Okay. Seeing no one, I would move that we go into executive session, discuss personnel issues that were outlined by the county administrator and any legal issues by the assistant prosecutor.
Second.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
We load up an 18-foot trailer, rugs, cables, audio-video equipment, sound systems, all the lighting. Then we have the task of hauling everything out of the trailer and taking it into the gymnasium or lunchroom or whatever large multi-purpose room they have for us. We're generally there for the whole day. If we're going to be back at the school the next day, we can leave our equipment still set up. If we're going to be at a different school the next day, then we have the job of removing it from the multi-purpose room and taking it back to the trailer, loading up the trailer, and locking it up and calling it quits for the day. It started in January 2007 with CERTS, which is Safe Routes to School. And Ken had an idea to develop the Safety Star program. It has escalated to the point where, as of this year's date, we have seen 38,000 students in Lorain County.
County Engineer's Office is quite proud to announce that the Safe Routes to School program has been initiated throughout Lorain County. We're very excited about this. To help these children from grades K to 4, teaching them to walk the streets safely is very important to us. We've seen statistics that quite frankly shock us. Many times we read and see stories of pedestrians being hit by automobiles in Lorain County, and it just tears my heart to see these children from K to 4 part of that. This program is to stop that, to help diminish those type of situations and educate these children on crossing the street safely. And we're quite happy to announce.
We bring safety to the school. We're self-contained. We have all the mock simulations of scenarios such as busy intersections. We have all the roads, movie screens, our audio-video system, streets, sidewalks, grass, working traffic signals, working railroad signals, and we bring that all to the school so the student does not have to leave. To make sure that all the lights, bulbs are working. And that all the audio video equipment is up and running. We then put on the program. We put together a dynamite program with a lot of positivity. We're very animated. The students enjoy it while they're learning an important rule about safety. When we ask questions, we ask for group participation. It's never just one student answering the question, it's everybody answering the question together.
Are you ready?
Teachers included. We make learning fun for everybody. We show two short films. One is Willie the Whistle, and Willie the Whistle teaches kids in a simple format the correct way to walk with parents, aunts or uncles, or any other family members that are responsible adults to cross streets where there are no stop signs or where it's just stop signs and no traffic lights, and to cross streets where there are parked cars, what to look for, when to cross, when there are cars parked along the sides of the street. And again, it's all basically looking left, right, and left. When the short film is over, we generally teach from what the kids just watched. And those are the scenarios then we go over with our mock setup. We go over basically what the video has just gone over. And then we let the kids apply what they just learned to doing it in real life to our mock simulation that we have in the room that we are performing in. Everybody leaves at the end of our program with a great feeling, knowing that all they have to do is look left, right, and left again, and they're going to be smiling for a good long time. I would highly recommend this program to all administrative principals in every school system. And it's a very good program. I believe in it 100%. I've had students see me at the mall or see me at a carnival or a festival and come up and say, "I remember you. You're the safety guy. You're Mr. Neal." And the first question I ask them, what are the 3 ways you look before you cross the street? This could be the year after we saw them, and they always say left, right, and left again, and they say it with a smile. So I know our program works. Because you did a good job today. At the end of the day, you're going to get to go home with the yellow safety star bag. Okay? The fun part. The students get to take home their surprise at the end of the day, which is the yellow safety star bag. And inside that bag are some neat things about pedestrian safety. We have the pedestrian safety flashcards. They also will get the Safety Star Certificate of Participation, which has their school name on it and the date. And we like to let the kids know that that's something that they can take home and hang on their refrigerator, they can hang on their bedroom door, or they can have their parents put it in a scrapbook for them. Their parents will receive some information such as the top 10 safety tips for adults, because even as adults we need to refresh our memories on safety. They, as students, will receive the top 10 Safety Star tips for students. They will also receive a Safety Star maze for those that are a little bit more adventurous and like a challenge. We also offer a safety coloring sheet. And there are some other things in the bag, but the things the kids like the most is the Safety Star pencil. And that's a pencil that changes colors when you touch it. And with that pencil comes the Safety Star eraser, which is a yellow eraser shaped like a star, and it says Safety Star on it. We need 40-foot by 40-foot area, electrical accessibility, and then a way to turn off and on the main lights of the room for our movies that we show. The smallest class we've done is 15 students. The largest class is 60. So usually the classes range from 23 to 25 students per class. There are occasions where the school has to schedule 2 classes at a time. We're very flexible. We do have the ability to fit into smaller rooms, so we pretty much will accommodate to what they can offer. I would highly recommend this program to all principals in every school system. At the end of the day, I feel very, very good. I'm excited that I know that kids are going to practice what they've learned, and I can go home and sleep good at night knowing that those children are going to get to school safely, they're going to get home safely, they're going to be smiling, and their parents are going to be smiling because everybody is safe.